Hi, I'm here to help you today with your Introduction to Multiplication and Division Workbook. So if you don't have this out right now, pause the video and go get it. This page we're working on today is the number lines and skip counting input page. So open up to this page and let's get started. So let's look, we start with a sentence. So let's get our pen or a pencil to complete that sentence. Number lines are a model used to show blank equations and blank equations. If you've been working along with me, hopefully you already know the answers that we're looking for the blanks. Multiplication equations and division equations. Number lines are a model used to show multiplication equations and division equations. Let's write that in, if you haven't already. Multiplication and division equations. They can also be used, as you probably know, to show addition and subtraction. But this workbook is all about multiplication and division, so that's where we're focusing. All right, let's look at our next sentence. Number lines can show blank. Well, number lines can show a lot of things, but what we're looking for here is skip counting, because this page is all about number lines and skip counting. So let's write skip counting in there. If you're not sure how to spell it, it is on the top of your page. Great. And now you can see the next thing we have on our page is a number line from 0 to 10. And then we've got 4 blanks. We're going to use these 4 blanks for our skip counting. And underneath that, we have the start of a multiplication equation. 4 times 2. Now, hopefully from our earlier work, you remember that 4 times 2 means 4 groups of 2. That means we're going to, on the number line, show 4 jumps of 2. So let's start on 0. And I will hold up my paper so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to jump from 0 to 2. And I'm going to label it on the top 2 because I jumped 2 spots. Okay, that's 1 jump. I need to do that 4 times, so I have 3 more to go. So I'm going to jump from 2 to 4, that's 2 more jumps. From 4 to 6, 2 more. 1 jump, 2 spots. So I've got 3 jumps all together. Last jump from 6 to 8. Label it with a 2 because we went 2 spots. So that's what it should look like now. Now I can use my work on the number line to skip count. I'm only going to count where I land for skip counting. So on my first jump, I land on 2. So I'm going to start with 2. On my second jump, I land on 4. So my next number is 4. Next jump, land on 6. And my final jump, I land on 8. So my skip counting looks like this. Now I can complete my multiplication equation. 4 times 2 equals, my number line ends on 8, my skip counting lands on 8, and the answer is 8. Now that I've completed my multiplication equation, I have all the information I need to complete my division equations. I always start with my total, my biggest number, in this case, 8. So I'm going to put in 8 in the first number spot for both division equations. Now, remember, I get to choose. I can choose my groups or my number in each group to be my next number. The first one, I'm going to go with 4. I don't know why, I just want to. So 8 divided into 4 groups, there's going to be 2 in each group. Or I had 4 jumps. Each jump was 2 numbers, so that's where I get my 2. For my next equation, I can't use 4 first again, I have to use 2. So 8 divided into groups of 2 equals 4 groups. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. Okay, I filled out all of my equations. Now we have a piece of text to look at. Each model represents 1 blank equation and 2 blank equations. Well, hopefully you remember from before, we can show 1 multiplication equation and 2 division equations. So let's write that in. Each model represents one multiplication equation and two division equations. You're probably getting tired of hearing about it, but remember, when you look at a model, you can only have one multiplication equation because your first number is going to be the number of groups or rows or boxes or number bond circles or jumps on a number line. And the second number is the number in each group. So that's why we can only have one multiplication equation. We can have two division equations because there isn't that formula for division equations. Okay? In a multiplication equation, the blank shows the number of groups. I always do this. I always talk about it, and then we look at this sentence. So the first number or first factor, you can put either one, first number or first factor, shows the number of groups. I'm going to put factor. The first factor shows the number of groups. And if you're feeling unsure about this, you can go ahead, back up and watch some of the old videos because we talk about it a lot. The blank shows the number in each group. That would be the second factor or the second number. So I'm writing second factor. You can write second number if you want, or you can write second factor if you want. In a division equation, the blank shows the total. So here's where you can use some division vocabulary if you would like. The dividend shows the total or the first number in the division equation. Either one. I think this time I'm going to write first number. And if you don't remember what a dividend is, you should go ahead and flip back and it's in one of your input pages. The second and third numbers do not have to be in a specific order. That's why we can have two division equations and only one multiplication equation to match a specific model. Great, now it looks like I've got another number line here. I've got 3 blanks on the side. I'm guessing that's for my skip counting. And I have a multiplication equation started. 3 times 2. That's going to mean 3 groups of 2 or 3 jumps of 2. So let's start on 0 on our number line and do our first jump. It's a jump of 2, so I'm going to jump from 0 to 2 and label that with a 2. Next jump, 2 to 4, label it with a 2. Next jump, 4 to 6, label it with a 2. So that's 3 jumps of 2. Hold it up so you can see what I did. All right, now I can do my skip counting. Remember, I skip count by where I end each jump. So my first jump ends on 2. My next jump ends on 4. And my final jump ends on 6. So my skip counting is 2, 4, 6. And 3 times 2, I know my answer is 6 because my number line ended on 6 and my skip counting ended on 6. If they ever don't end on the same number, I know I made a mistake and I need to go back and check my work. Now I can write my division sentences, my division equations. So I start with 6, my biggest number, my total. For my first one, I'm going to divide by 3. You can do 2 if you want. I'm going to do 3 groups, so 6 divided by 3 groups equals 2 in each group. Then for my next one, I have to flip it. 6 divided into groups of 2 equals 3 groups. All right, that's it for this page. You're ready for the output page. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.